Quick, name your favorite Audi model. I'm willing to bet that most of you didn't just blurt out the humble A6 here, but maybe you should have. This midsize sedan fits in a sweet spot in Audi's lineup, giving you almost all the performance and technology of the flagship A8 at a much more manageable size. Grab shotgun with me and Goldilocks here, and we'll see how she stacks up. Now, I still love a good sport compact like Audi's RS3, but lately these largish mid-size sedans like the A6 here have really started to grow on me. Maybe I'm just getting old. Either way, the A6 is mechanically very similar to Audi's flagship A8, sharing the same 3-liter turbocharged V6 engine, making 335 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, which it puts through the same 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission and Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system, which is standard. It also features the same 48-volt mild hybrid system. However, the A6 is about 500 pounds lighter than the A8, which means it feels a little bit more engaging off the line and around corners. However, overwhelming performance isn't really the point here. It does feel like it has an adequate amount of power, but Audi's placed more of an emphasis on the feeling of lightness and efficiency in the A6's performance. At least the feeling of efficiency. Actual fuel economy sits at a pretty average for this class, 25 miles per gallon combined. The only real performance nitpick I have is that the engine is sometimes a little bit too quiet. I'd like to actually hear it when I put it in dynamic mode. And the only ergonomic complaint I have is the placement of these outer buttons on the steering wheel. As is, whenever I'm really chucking this thing into a corner, I have a bad habit of hitting the skip forward button, causing me to move on to the next track when whatever song I'm listening to is just getting to the good part. The rest of the cabin is a sparse and pretty minimum interpretation of luxury, and I really like that. It's sort of the opposite of the modern Baroque interior that you get in modern Mercedes-Benzes like the new E-Class. And I really like both styles, and whichever one I prefer on a given day really depends on whether I'm in a light and futuristic Audi mood or a more heavy and luxurious feeling Benz mood. Now, Audi has held an advantage in dashboard tech for about the last half decade, and I'm still really enjoying this newest interpretation of its MMI tech with a 2-screen touch response system. Now, a number of automakers have tried to do dual screen setups like this. I'm looking at you, Land Rover and Infiniti, but very few have made as much organizational sense as Audi has with this one. We've got a full deep dive into this technology and the virtual cockpit in a separate video. You'll definitely want to check that out to get the full tour. Safety technology is also top-notch with standard features including pre-sense forward collision mitigation system and a standard rear camera. Now, optionally, you can get a surround camera and a full suite of driver aid features, including traffic jam assist, lane keeping steering assist, and adaptive cruise control. That's going to be a part of a driver assistance package at lower trim levels. Now, I'd like to see a lot of those features become standard on the A6, but I've sort of come to terms with the fact that that's just not how luxury German automakers do it. And part of the buying process is checking just the right boxes to make sure you get exactly the car that you want. Now, one of the things that I've always liked about Audi is the way they treat lighting. LED matrix headlamps are available on the 2019 A6, but I'm really enjoying the animation that's played by the daytime running lamps up front and the LED tail lamps out back whenever you approach the vehicle. Every Audi model of this generation has a slightly different animation that plays, and yeah, it's a little gimmicky, but it does make locking and unlocking your car feel just a little special every time you do it. Now, in my eyes, the closest competitor to this car is going to be the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. It's a really good mirror to this vehicle, checking a lot of the same boxes with its own unique and very different panache. Volvo's S90 is another alternative for drivers who value style over outright performance, and BMW's 5 Series ain't bad, but it just doesn't spark the same joy in me as the rest of the gang. The 2019 Audi A6 starts at $58,900 before destination charges, but our loaded prestige model here with all the driver assistance bells and whistles tips the scales at around $74,000 delivered. Still nicely competitive in this mid-size luxury class. So it's a really tough call for me between this and the new Mercedes E-Class, which I've got a newfound love for. But I want to know what you would get with your $75,000. Let us know in the comments below. But before you do, hit the subscribe button for even more cool reviews like this from the Roadshow crew.